Good morning. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nickolay Mladenov and I'm the Bulgarian Foreign Minister. Unfortunately, I have been unable to join you this morning for the conference, but the UN General Assembly started in New York and I need to be present here. Let me thank the Robert Bosch Foundation for organizing this conference, and particularly thank them for organizing it in such a historic place, an old steel factory. I think it serves a dual purpose. Firstly, to remind us that it was the end of the Second World War and making war impossible in Europe that brought the founding member states together in the European coal and steel community. In a time of crisis, as now, it is worth sometimes to remember what was the initial idea of Europe coming together, making war impossible. I know that for many in the old member states, this may have been forgotten or it may have become part of our historic heritage, but we're not often reminded of it. But for those of us in Southeastern Europe, this is a very important reason. Because we remember the recent wars of the collapse of former Yugoslavia, the hundreds of thousands of people who died in a series of conflicts bred by ethnic and religious hatred. So we do still have to achieve that initial vision of the founding fathers, making war impossible, not just in Western Europe, not just in Central Europe, but in Southeastern Europe as well. We in Bulgaria take this very much at heart, because we believe that the neighborhood we live in, the Balkans, must live in standards that are equal to the rest of Europe, and first of all start by bringing everyone into the European Union, so as to make war impossible and development possible, and the achievement of the freedoms that everyone in the European Union holds, not just possible, but a reality for everyone. We live today, however, in a European Union that is much more interconnected than anyone probably thought it would be possible when the founding fathers came up with the initial idea of bringing Europe together. We live in a Europe that is interconnected by our internal market, that is growingly considering how to interact together and address problems in the world around us. In fact, this is quite innovative, 27 member states coming together and working towards having a common foreign and security policy. I think the day that we have that would probably be more of an achievement politically than bringing everyone together around a single currency, which we must now protect and uphold. Because foreign policy is one of the decisive symbols of sovereignty, and when 27 countries come together and work as one in the international community would be quite an achievement. Secondly, the day that we are able to use that one voice in Europe to talk to our partners around the world on our common energy policy would indeed be a great success for the European Union. All of this would have been impossible if we had not focused on solidarity in the EU. And solidarity is perhaps the principle of European integration that is most tested today. It is tested by the financial crisis in the southern tier of the European Union, by developments particularly in Greece and a number of other countries. This solidarity, however, is a principle that goes both ways. In one direction, it is there to help, it is there to exemplify how we all stand together and support each other when faced by major financial or other challenges. But it is also a solidarity of upholding the same rules and principles that is very, very important. And as Europe, as the Eurozone comes together in supporting Greece to address the financial challenges that it does in this great effort of this great show of solidarity, which is unmatched in the history of the world, so must Greek society come together and show a solidarity with the rest of the European Union in upholding the same rules and principles that we all must abide by in the EU. Bulgaria is a neighbor of Greece. We hope that they will meet their obligations in a manner that would help them come out of this crisis and would make Europe stronger. But also we hope that we are one of the countries that has been an example of financial discipline in our part of the world. And I stress this because As part of our European solidarity in the European Union, we're not there to ask for more or to ask for less. We're there for us to ask for what is right and what effectively is an implementation of the rules that we have all agreed to. Bulgaria is a country that has the lowest government debt to GDP ratio right now. We have a very, very strict financial discipline and a deficit which is just a little bit under 3%, quite an achievement at this point. Many will say that probably this has nothing to do with the spirit of Europe. But I think this is important to point out, because if we all in the European Union abide by, not just by the letter, but by the spirit of the principles that we have embedded in European integration, we shall all be better off, and there will be less of a need to show the solidarity that is now being extended to Greece in a manner that to other countries in the future. I hope that upholding Europe, upholding the strength of the euro, and upholding the principles on which the European Union has been built will no longer be a source of discontent or a source of anger within our societies, because in some countries this has become the case. But it will again be a source of inspiration, a source for us to achieve our great goals that we have set in becoming more competitive, becoming more responsive to our citizens, and working together and speaking together with one voice, whether it's on energy issues, on foreign policy issues with the rest of the world. I hope that your conference today will contribute to this debate, and I have asked one of our senior diplomats, Ms. Vesela Chernova, who is the spokesperson of the Foreign Ministry, to also participate in this conference. And once again, I'm terribly sorry I couldn't be there with you this morning. Thank you.